Hello everyone, I'm Abasud and today we are continuing our last session which is about configuration control for procure to pay process. So let's discuss about next control which is the required PR references, that is purchase requisition references. It is saying whenever you are creating the PO, modifying the PO, always configure the SAP so that it requires the reference for purchase requisition, so that some fields would be auto populated and there would not be any wrong values put into the PO manually. Next is the blanket PO. So blanket PO is more riskier than the standard purchase process that utilize specific PO requires goods and services received before payment. The use of blanket PO should be restricted to a limited situation, and limit should be assigned to any blanket PO so that the amount are not totally open-ended. The tolerance key is LA. Within the release strategy defines how SAP treats invoices which when aggregated against other invoices already applied to a blanket PO. The next is prevent the reversal of good receipt after invoicing. So if you're using SAP good receipt based invoice verification process, there is a configuration SAP to prevent the reversal of good receipt after invoice processing. So basically there is a transaction code OMJJ. So inside that we can do that particular configuration corresponding to movement type 102. Next is reason code. Define reason code that makes sense for your business and allow for effective monitoring and decision making. When payment different from SAP calculated amount payment code, effectively track cause and deal with recurring purchase or vendor situation that should be resolved. Next is mandatory good receipt for relevant item. Certain purchases should always be followed by good should always be followed by good receipt, mitigating the risk of purchasing fraud as well as overpayment of goods are not received during good receipts are mandatory. Also configure the SAP to prevent this indicator from being changed. So we can basically do this configuration. This configuration is under SPRO, material management, purchasing, maintain account assignment category. Inside that there is a tick of GR indicating form that should be ticked. Next is we can go to next slide for that. So next is remove unlimited over delivery capability. By default SAP has a purchasing value key that allows for unlimited delivery of goods. This effectively negates control and release strategy because PO quantity becomes irrelevant, and thus this setting can be used to perpetuate fraud. So where can we do the settings? We can do the settings from SPRO, material management, purchasing, material master. Here we can define purchase value key. So here basically we need to look into, there is a checkbox that is limited, unlimited, overdue. Next we can look into the alternate payment currency. When alternate payment currency may be used, configure SAP to maintain automatic account assignment, including clearing account for payment difference that may arise due to the payment currency. Next, duplicate invoice. SAP duplicate invoice check is not enabled by default. Configuring the setting can reduce but likely not eliminate the processing of duplicate invoice. The next is alternate pay. So if your business does not require the periodic use of alternate pay, which should be controlled through SAP dual control over sensitive fields function, then this field should be suppressed on all relevant document. Next is duplicate business partner. So enable SAP functionality for detecting the potential duplicate when vendors are being enters based on the addresses. So next we are having duplicate vendor and master. So we should be looking into, like, the vendor is not duplicate, master is not duplicate, and accordingly the decisions can be taken. So this is what we are having corresponding to configuration control. Thank you for joining. In next session, we will be discussing about the reports. Thank you.